Sup everyone, welcome to another episode of Deep Dives with Melee Stats. Chances are you're wondering where Wheat is if you've heard the show, and you're wondering what the Melee Stats podcast host Edwin Budding is doing on the show. And that's because tonight is actually just me and Pika again, sort of like the Smash History 2.0 coming back to talk about Genesis.
Genesis was interesting.
Yeah, so why don't we get started talking about the thing that both of us tend to talk about, which is history. HBox One Genesis.
It was pretty cool. It was his 27th major win, and he continues to expand his gap with the most majors won ever.
That kind of blows my mind. He's literally won more than everyone else, right?
Yeah, and he tied Mango for second most super majors.
I thought you said he had the most super majors ever.
He has the most majors ever.
Oh, okay. Got it. And what was your differentiator?
Super majors.
What was your differentiator for super major again?
All the top players there.
But Leffen DQ'd.
But there were still like a hell of a lot of players there. And Leffen did affect the bracket.
Do you like... Okay, this is going to sound crazy, and I don't want to like take credit away from HBox, but like in terms of the significance of his victory, like it is significantly less impressive that he basically just beat Plup and a bunch of people he was expected to beat, right?
I agree. I don't think it was a super impressive bracket. It was a very easy bracket. We discussed this on the Melee Stats podcast. He had a very easy bracket. It only got easier when Leffen DQ'd.
Yeah, so like I don't know. I don't want to say Genesis, like obviously Genesis in a vacuum is a super major, but as far as like things that were under HBox's control, he basically just did what he was supposed to. It's not like he beat Leffen, Plup, and Mango or something. It's like he beat Pew Pew, scraped by S2J, and then beat Plup, and then beat Axe. Like how? Like, does this really help his legacy at all, or does it just kind of cement things?
I mean, it's just like another thing to add to his belt. Like, oh look, now I won Genesis.
I think one argument you can make is that the other people not doing as well or DQing makes HBox look better in comparison, right? So like, I think that's something that I think could actually work out in HBox's favor. The fact that while the rest of the field was crumbling or going off to play another goddamn game, he was winning in Melee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, HBox did fine. It was a good win for him. Nothing groundbreaking, but just another win.
All right, so I guess the last point I want to bring up on HBox and I want to ask you about is does this when does he obviously like every win HBox has is just kind of another trophy in his cabinet at this point. So at what point do the HBox Mango conversations have already sort of started happening, because he's not really like he's kind of transcended the idea that like winning tournaments will help like his rank in any way at least in the current metagame. It's more like how's it going to help his all-time standing, right? So HBox Mango I think has sort of become a lot closer since Armada's retirement. And at what point does he pass Mango, and is it sights on Armada?
It's like, so he has the same amount of super majors as Mango. He has more majors. His win rate at majors is higher. He's gotten more top 8s than Mango, but he has less years as number 1 because 2010's kind of like controversial.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like so Mango still has more years as the best in the world, and he has more longevity than Hungrybox, which is the main thing that's keeping him, I would say, above him. But if Hungrybox is number 1 this year again, I think he's above Mango.
What if like Hungrybox is number 2, but he wins 3 more majors or 2 more super majors?
It's tough to say, dude. You have to see what Mango does this year too. You know.
Yeah, that's fair. And the only thing I can
definitively say is if Hungrybox is number 1 this year, he's number 2 of all time.
So when does he actually threaten Armada?
I think he passes Armada if he's number 1 another year.
Does this change depending on how dominant his number 1 year is? Like, let's say he wins Summit, wins Smash and Splash, wins Evo, Do we start talking about Armada then? Like if HBox just sweeps the first half of the year?
If he just dominates this year and is number one this year with the
I'm
ones
saying
he
if he
got down there,
dominates until Evo, like he dominates the first half alone.
it's the first half of this year.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think he's. I don't think he reaches Armada then. Armada still has multiple super majors on him, multiple years above him at number one. Like his win rate at majors is way higher, below fifth ever. Like it's. I think Armada is still pretty solidly above him.
Right, I think so right now. And you think he'd still be solidly above even if HBox won everything until Evo?
Armada has that much of a gap.
Okay. So extending that, how about at the end of the year? Let's say HBox, how many let's say he wins both summits, wins Evo, and he wins Big House. How about now?
I think I'd still give the edge to Armada.
What, like mid 2020, does it become a conversation?
I think you'd have to wait until at least 2020 for it to start to be a conversation.
Does Armada come back out of pride?
If it happened because the reason he retired was because he had nothing left to prove. So
Yeah, so if HBox did manage to, yeah, I guess he would have a reason to come back.
but don't worry, PP will come back and stop HBox, so it's okay.
While we talk about the guy HBox beat in grand finals, Axe, this is undoubtedly his best major performance of all time.
This is in placing, it's his very first grand finals ever because
Right.
he's peaked at third. So
I think I watched his set against Plup again. I really don't know what happened. If you had asked me odds before that set, I would have given anyone betting on Axe anything. That it just seems so unlikely.
I would have been shocked if Plup even took a game. I mean, if Axe even took a game.
Yeah, because Plup is one of those guys that just has absurd character knowledge. He had just destroyed Amsa earlier in bracket.
Plup was playing so well that tournament. He 3-0'd Zane. He 3-0'd Amsa, two people he struggled with. He almost beat Hungrybox.
Mm-hmm.
Playing good that tournament. And Axe just kind of beat him.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the best Axe has ever played in his life, right?
Yes, yeah. I guess it has to be. Like, on an absolute scale, definitely. On a relative scale, probably.
Do you think this finishing second does anything for Axe's legacy, or do you think he's sort of stuck where he is until he manages to either transcend his current level or get a lucky bracket to winning a major?
Insane longevity is really good, and you could probably rank him a bit higher than we did. Like, you could put him above, like, Captain Jack, maybe, depending on what you value. But I think for the most part, he's fairly stuck where he is until he, like, wins something.
If he does win something, he would be undoubtedly it would probably be among the biggest moments in Melee history, right?
If he won Genesis 6, it would be insane. He would be he would instantly shoot up like 5 placings.
So I think if he won, so it of course depends on how you value tournaments and major victories. What would it take for you to put Axe above like Isaiah, for instance?
If he won Genesis, I'd put him above Isaiah.
What about like by the end of next year? What does he need to do in like a year's time?
If he wins a major or wins a super major, which he got in grand finals, so
how about if he won
do it? I guess
because he's won like regional tournaments he's won a regional tournament over Mute King before. So what if he won a flat iron type event over Leffen or like one other god or two other gods?
I think that would really help him, but it's like I think you really need like a big tournament win, and then it really pushes it. I think because at the level that he's at, because he's the best player to not win a major.
Yeah, free.
So at this point, he needs to win a major. That's how I look at it. Like he's proved himself against everything else, but he needs to win a major.
So just a refresher for the audience. I know who you're talking about, but who would you put above Axe all time?
Well, like all time?
Yeah, right now.
Jack, Isaiah, Korean DJ, Chudat, PC Chris, Plup. This is not in order, by the way.
Yeah.
Leffen, Az, and PP. King, Hungry Box Ken, Armada Mango. Those 14.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Just for reference, those 14 have won every major or greater. Correct.
Besides Zane.
Yeah, Zane too. Zane, but I think Axe has a good amount of longevity over Zane to where that's not really a discussion.
I agree. Like Zane's still fairly lower, I would say.
Okay, so that does it with Axe. Do you want to talk about Plup for a bit? Because I thought he looked phenomenal at the event until he ran into HBox, and then he just got beat by Axe, playing kind of subpar in my opinion. And now Plup's kind of on.
I think a lot of it. I think he got kind of thrown off by the headset stuff. He looked super annoyed at that.
Can you give a brief refresher on the headset stuff again?
Like during Winners Finals against HBox, both of their headsets continually had problems, and they both like threw their headsets off of their heads.
Okay, so I want to hear something really embarrassing of why I don't know this. So,
Right.
in case the listeners don't know, although I think most of them do, I was actually at Genesis 6. However, I did not purchase a ticket for Top 8 because I was busy watching the Super Bowl with Juggle Guy and a few other New England Smashers.
How'd that work out for you?
So, I literally spent hundreds, just under $1,000 to go to Genesis just to watch the Super Bowl and have Genesis Top 8 on my phone in the hotel.
Wasn't even a good Super Bowl.
It was great. What are you talking about, dude? Anyways, sorry, got a little
terrible. Whatever.
Got a little distracted there. So are we? I guess we don't really think any differently other than Plup. Than I guess that Axe finally managed to take a set off him. But is there anything to talk about regarding his clear dislike of Puff, him wanting to take a break for a while?
It all makes sense to me. He probably is sick of playing Hungry Box all the time, and he keeps losing now, especially in these close sets. Like I'd get annoyed too.
Yeah, I mean,
makes sense. And he's pretty good at Ultimate, so.
Yeah, imagine watching everyone in Ultimate just sort of having a blast through Top 8 and 32 or whatever, and then just knowing that's happening later in bracket and that it's a game that you play on the side, and knowing that in your main game you're going to have to vanquish Hungry Box or Jigglypuff, it probably doesn't make him feel too good, does it?
I think he's just super done with Melee for the moment. I think if he has a good break and comes back, he'll feel better.
Yeah, he'll probably be back at Summit, right?
Summit sounds like probably when he'll be back.
Wait, but Plup doesn't do that well at Summit, does he?
But maybe with a new mind.
Who knows? Okay.
I wonder if he'll still go to Full Bloom. I forget. I think he regged for that. I wonder if he's going to go still.
That's late March, so I think he'll have time to come up with a decision.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the next major. So.
Well, it could be worse for Plup. He could have lost to a Falco in round 2 of pools. So, where do we even start with Magi versus Mango? It was just a pretty groundbreaking moment.
Oh my god, I love that set. I was talking about this. I think that it's probably my favorite Falco Ditto of all time.
Oh wow, above Kings of Cali, above any.
I was thinking about it. Like Kings of Cali is probably my number 2, but the commentary on that's so bad.
Yeah, very true.
I gotta give it to Magi Mango, and I also think Magi Mango is the second best set to be under 10 minutes long.
What was the first?
VPP.
Oh, right. I think
But
one of the things that just really impressed me about the set is I know Mango sort of he's a very low data in the Falco Ditto, I think, but a funny story about it. So I was talking to Sleepy K, and apparently Magi, she contacted him a little bit before the tournament because she was talking about facing Lavinji in her bracket, and he was like, okay, sure, let's go over some Falco Ditto basics. We're going to talk about what you're looking for, what your opponent's looking for, different positions and all that stuff. And she tells Sleepy later that she beat Lavinji or something in bracket. And Sleepy's really happy and like, oh, you got to play Mango next, but let's see what you learn. And lo and behold, Magi she defeated Mango. You know, just funny how that happens, and I just think it's such an amazing moment for obvious reasons that we don't have to go like super into. It's just
But
sick that someone like Magi can come into Melee and beat one of her best players.
yeah, it's like, yeah. And they almost lost to Lavinci. Like it was game 3. So
Yeah.
yeah, game three of Magi Mango is everyone should watch that.
Yeah,
So
it was
good.
really a really good commentary on it too. I thought I was very impressed.
They just killed each other.
Yeah. What do you? So Mango lost early and then made a huge run through losers bracket before just getting slapped by Amsa in probably one
my
of
God,
the most sad sets that I've been sad to see.
What?
It was so
What?
sad.
Sad?
He just
It's
ran at
so amazing,
he ran at Amsa when Amsa was on a platform and just got destroyed.
dude. It was amazing. Amsa destroyed him.
Because Amsa Amsa and Mango have had like two very close sets in the past. So to see Amsa just kind of slap Mango and stuff him whenever he was coming in, I don't know, man. It was kind of disappointing, and especially Mango at
Yeah.
Genesis too. Like,
Dude, I thought it was awesome. I don't know, because I just thought it was so awesome, because all you guys were saying on the Millistats podcast that Amsa would have a tougher time with Mango than Left.
I never
was
said
like,
that. Zane was the one who Zane thought it was Mango that would give Amsa a harder time than Leffen, which is just like so dumb. I think Zane got caught in his eye test trap and sort of like how he expects a player to play in that matchup and how their style carries over versus like what actually happens.
it was so.
Although he was right on Plup beating Amsa. He was right on that being difficult.
Plup destroyed Amsa. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be closer if Plup won. But, yeah, Amsa bodied Mango, and it was a good day.
Anything else to take away from Mango other than that he just kind of made a loser's run until he ran into someone good?
When he dropped the game to Snowy, do you want to talk about that?
What is there to talk about, dude? It's snowy.
I'm just asking, dude. Oh, poor Toph, by the way.
Oh yeah, because Toph
Toph
lost to
versus-
Hax and Mango to get like 65th or something.
At 65th, and he was like, and he really wanted to play Magi.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
He would have lost to Magi, but
Yeah, it could have been worse for Mango though. He could have lost to Triff and then Bananas for 33rd.
honestly, he could have.
So that was actually one of the sets from Genesis I've just refused to watch. Meech King Triff, just because I think
MGK Bananas?
No. MTK Bananas was actually kind of close, and I think is Martha's potential, and that he should obviously just like stick with it.
Bananas won with Sopo in last hit game 5. So
Yeah, he's making I mean, it's better than what happened last time they faced, right?
yeah. We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, and as far as Meech King Triff goes, again, I wrote this earlier in the week, but this is one set that I am just avoiding. The only thing I saw was the last frame, or one of the last frames, where Meech King whiffed the Ken combo because he hit Peach's dress. And I saw a clip of Triff afterwards, like on the ground or whatever, literally yelling, "I'm so good!" over and over again.
Dude, Triff. Well, to be fair, that dare was really bad, and you should not have went for it. It wasn't even close to hitting.
Look, man, Meech King lost to Triff. Just like
Dude.
half a year ago, we saw him
But
take a set from Armada. This is so depressing, dude.
I'm actually really happy that Triff won, because Triff always chokes when he comes to America. And for once, he didn't choke, and it was in a set that really mattered. And I'm really happy for Triff.
Fair enough, man.
For Triff. Dude, but then he lost to Pew Pew anyway. But he 3-0'd Fat Goku, which is actually more impressive.
Yeah, especially as a Peach.
Impressive than beating Mewtwo King.
No, it's not, dude. It's Meech King's Martha's Peach.
No. Have you seen Fat Goku? I'm not saying beating Fat Goku is more impressive. I'm saying 3-0ing Fat Goku free is more impressive.
Dude, Fat Goku would get, like, destroyed by... Dude, you think Fat Goku would ever have a shot against Armada? Sorry, Fat Goku, if you're listening to this.
But he bodied Fat Goku as opposed to barely beating Mewtwo King. It's the degree of winning that matters here.
Dude, I'm not gonna, like, argue whether beating Mewtwo King or... This is absurd. Beating Mewtwo King in the last game set is more impressive than 3-0ing Fat Goku. This is ridiculous, and you know it.
But it's not. Fat Goku was having the run of his life too.
He was Fat Goku. I guess while we're on the topic of him, who did he beat? He beat Orishi. He beat Duck. He beat Toussaint. There was a fourth, and he beat Chudat, right?
Yeah, he beat you.
Yeah,
Yeah, he beat those. Yeah, actually.
it was such an absurdly good run from Fat Goku. The Pacific Northwest crowd was going crazy for him in every set, dude. I was at the venue. People loved him.
And he went game 5 last stock with Ginger. So.
Can you imagine if we got to see Fat Goku X instead of Ginger X?
Oh, that would have been so good.
Would it have? I feel like Fat Goku would have just tried to camp him and then get back thrown by ledge.
That would have been exactly the same as Ginger, except a new player, so it would have been better.
Well, I don't have anything to say to that. I think that just about says it.
I mean,
do we want to talk about Leffen DQing at all? Is there anything to say, or not really?
He DQ'd. He went to play Ultimate. He did pretty good in Ultimate.
That's literally all we have to say about Leffen.
He did pretty good in Ultimate. He beat Wadi. What do you want me
He
to say?
did. I was. People were going crazy over that dude. I was stunned. Yeah, keep in mind, like, we've been in the scene a while, right? Like, I remember when Leffen was booed at, or when like very few people would actually root for him at events. So
I remember when people hated Leffen. I remember when I hated Leffen.
yeah, and now he's getting people to just go crazy over him at events and stuff. Like, even new Smash Ultimate kiddies love Leffen, dude. I don't get it.
Good reason too. He's great. I love Leffen now.
He is great, but
Leffen's sick.
He's sick, but he should stick to Melee, or he should stay in Melee, dude.
He's staying in Melee. Don't worry about it.
I was so annoyed when he dropped out of bracket, cause it like, okay, here, you want to hear the meme? This is the meme. We're gonna go through Ginger's bracket in top 64.
Oh
So
my god, can we?
Ginger,
Can I just say something? You know how I have these things called the Plove docs, right?
yeah,
In reference to my friend Plover.
Yeah.
And he's and so like I have these players' performances at tournaments, and I put down their wins over notable players and their losses to less notable players. And usually when you have a really good run to like top 8 out of a super major, you have so many wins listed in the Plove doc, right? Literally the only things listed in Ginger's Plove doc are his losses.
so just from okay, this is gonna sound really mean, and like I don't want to take it like Ginger can't control his bracket. Like, it's really good that he got top. It's really good that he got top 8 at a major, but I just want to like highlight the absurdity. So Ginger had to play in top 64. Ginger had to play Azel because Leffen DQ'd. Ginger then had to play Eddie Mexico partially because Absent Page DQ'd. Now Ginger has beaten Absent Page before, but just hold on for a second. Then Ginger loses 3-0 to Amsa. Then Ginger has to play Fat Goku because Fat Goku beat Chudat and Toussaint, who beat Hax. And then Ginger has to play Axe in top 8 and loses. So, with that said, with Fat Goku, Azel, and Eddie Mexico as his best wins to make top 8, who is the worst potential player that could have that bracket and get just as far? Zamu?
That.
You said I don't think Zamu beats Eddie Mexico.
I think he could beat Eddie Mexico.
I think he would be. I think he could beat Eddie Mexico, but you have to keep in mind, like, this is beating all those players in a row. I don't think Zamu is going to go from tech chasing Azel like crazy to playing a matchup like Luigi against Eddie Mexico.
Honestly, I just wanted to talk about Zamu.
Zamu didn't have a very good tournament.
He did what he normally does in majors. He loses in round 1 pools, and then.
Do you think that Free Palestine could make this run?
Totally. Free Palestine's so good versus Luigi.
What about?
Actually, no. Pretty good versus Sheik, isn't he?
Who?
Fat Goku. He's pretty good versus Sheik, isn't he?
Yeah, I think his style would carry over pretty well. I don't know his results off the top of my head.
It's whatever.
Who is the? Do you think? Okay, so I know we're just making fun of like the absurdity of Ginger's bracket. Ginger, if you or your fans are listening to this, like Like it's literally just pointing out how absurd something is. Or I'm not saying he is like bad or something. It's just
Ginger's not bad. He's top 50. Come on.
yeah,
He's a good. He's obviously a good player.
yeah. Like we're literally just like I hate it when people like get super defensive about this. Like no, I'm not taking away like.
Yeah, it's just funny because the bracket was dumb.
Okay, yeah. Do you think if Bobby Big Balls had defeated Eddie Mexico, and do you think Bobby Big Balls could have potentially made this run?
Lost to Eddie Mexico at this tournament.
Yeah, but I want to let you know. So because I don't think it wasn't streamed, but I'm gonna tell you what happened in this set. Okay, so Bobby gets destroyed game 1. I was watching this. Game 2, he starts double jump daring, like literally just double jump down airing and mixing up down air with wave landing on top platform, and he like JV3 stocks or like 2 stock low percents Eddie Mexico, right? Game 3, he like loses his first stock in a really stupid way by ledge because he tries like short hop laser like ledge hop double lasering and gets forward tilted or something, and then he just like he stops doing double jump down air and just starts fighting Eddie Mexico, and it goes last stock, and he like tries to do a jump up ledge hop aerial from ledge or something, or some dumb commitment, and Eddie Mexico forward tilts him again to barely win last stock.
Damn, I didn't know it was that close. That was pretty good.
Yeah, he got destroyed the first game, but he adapted, and then game 3 he just didn't do his strategy anymore.
Bobby Big Balls is actually pretty good at floaty matchups, so I'm not too surprised actually.
I think there are some things he does well in those matchups that like don't carry over well against certain play styles or for longer sets, like when people start figuring him out. But he is pretty solid. He has a good on stage game, but I played Bobby for a good amount, or well, not a good amount. We played like 4 games, and I thought his on stage game was really good. But his every time he got hit, his defensive game was like astoundingly poor for someone of his level.
What, you think Bobby Big Balls could have made this run if he beat Eddie Mexico?
I'm just saying, if Bobby Big Balls had defeated Eddie Mexico, hold on, let me double check. Who would he have had in his path? Oh, he would have had SFOP.
He would. That's actually interesting because they used to play.
He would have had SFOP, Absent Page who DQ'd, and Ginger, and then presumably if he beat Ginger in the Falco Ditto, he would have had Amsa into Fat Goku into Axe. Okay, we're talking about Bobby Big Balls weight. This is really dumb. I'm just like thinking of a random player that could. Okay, you know what? Shout out to Ginger. You got 7th out of Super Major, dude. Good job.
Yeah, your first top 8, dude. It's sick.
Yeah, especially like other Falco players, like how they tend to lose early or just not do that consistently at all. Like, good on you, man. No one's taking that away from you.
To be fair, all the other good goes at this tournament kind of got bopped, and he didn't. So.
Yeah. So again, Ginger fans, please don't get mad at us. What else is there to discuss from top 32? Did you see IBDW Axe? That was a heartbreaker, dude.
I called IBDW beating Axe on the Melee Stats podcast. I was so sad when Cody lost.
What'd you think of hold on, where was it? There it is. We just talked about Fat Goku beating Duck. My bad.
Dude, I wasn't surprised. He beat him last time.
What about I think this was the set of top 64, Zane versus Fiction.
No, I think
that or Zane Axe. I think those 2 sets are absurdly close.
I was gonna say Zane Axe.
I think it's doable, man. I think he'll get him in another like 2 tries, 2 or 3.
Dude, poor Fiction. That's all I have to say about Zane Fiction. Poor Fiction.
When do you think Fiction? What do you think Fiction beats Zane if it ever happens this year?
Fiction?
Yeah, when do you think he'll do it, or do you think he'll do it?
I don't think he's gonna beat Zane this year.
Really, man, it was super close this time. I think he can do it like in another 2 or 3 attempts if Zane is, because I thought Zane played kind of bad this set.
I think the next times they play, it's gonna get less close.
Oh, like, you think it's going to be one of those things where, like, Zane realizes he can't just sleepwalk through Fiction, so he'll, like, prepare for him specifically and stuff?
I think he's going to body Fiction next time, personally.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think it looks really doable, though. Like, I don't think it's a free win for Zane.
Oh, no, me neither. Fiction's amazing. I just don't think Fiction's going to beat him this year.
Fiction had such a tough bracket for a Fox play. I know Fat Goku just beat him, but like Duck is still kind of a rough draw in losers bracket.
He lost to Duck last time. Didn't Duck reverse 3-0 him last time?
Yeah, it was very close.
Yeah, it was. I felt bad for Fiction then, but Duck won solidly this time. Like, so my set of the top 32 or whatever would be Zayn X, I think, because I couldn't believe how close that was. When Zayn hit that dare, I thought he won.
Yeah, I thought I would have picked between Zayn Axe or Zayn Fiction. Man, this guy Zayn just plays in so many thrilling sets. Kind of crazy.
Right? Can you believe it's already been a year since Zayn Wizrobe?
Yeah, damn, that's kind of nuts. How time flies.
It's already been a year since Wizzy passed out.
Oh, I actually so I missed the set, but by any chance, did you catch Nintendo versus Commaster?
It wasn't on stream, but I saw the games and I was like, what?
Yeah, I saw that too. I was very confused.
Because Nintendo's Marth beats Commaster's Luigi game 1. Then Commaster goes Falcon, and he loses game 2. But he stays Falcon, he wins games 3 and 4, and then Nintendo goes Ice Climbers and wins game 5.
But I think he like won last stock, right?
Yeah, it was very close. It was last stock.
As far as
so good.
Do we want to talk about Legend having a pretty good performance? He beat Laudandus over Triforce and 3-0'd Face Roll.
And he did what he was supposed to. It's a puff against Sheik.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Legend, we got to play a lot before his sort of later bracket matches, and he kept telling me the whole time about how bad he thought Sheik was, and obviously you know me, right? So I was getting so annoyed at him, dude. I was like, dude, you're literally you're only saying this because you play Jigglypuff, and he was like, no, dude, like I'll beat people who are quote unquote better than me because I think Sheik is garbage, and I'm gonna show everyone how to exploit this character. Like, she's not a good character, and I just told him that, like, dude, you're literally insane. Sheik is so busted, and then he just goes and beats 3 really good Sheik players in bracket.
I think it's funny because you say that he thinks that because his character beats it, but he could just respond that you think what you think because your character loses.
Well, he thinks my character wins or goes even with Sheik, so I don't know.
Whatever, dude. It's just. Sheik's good. Sheik's the 4th best character in the game.
I think she's probably 3rd or 4th. Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, shout out to Legend for having a really good first major of the year.
Good. Yeah, there were some interesting results this tournament. I wouldn't say that this tournament was particularly amazing, but it certainly had a lot of cool stuff to happen.
Yeah, I think by results, there's a lot of really cool things to look at, especially as far as like breakouts by different players or different players getting big wins out of region. Like I think I've talked about Joy Boy a lot over the last like 2 or 3 weeks, either in my column or on the podcast or even on other podcasts. Like Joy Boy beating Swedish Delight is a pretty it's good to see sort of like New England's collective faith in Joy Boy rewarded through that result.
Let's not forget, of course, Melee Stats member Leon YCZ, whatever his last name is.
Yeah, Leon Zoo.
On YCZ Zoo.
Yeah, getting top 64 at this tournament. That's so sick. I saw his set with Laudandus. He was up 2-0.
Sue, he beat Yort, and then he almost beat Laudandus.
He almost 3-0'd Laudandus. I think Laudandus kind of figured out something game 3, and they just started playing smarter, though, for the rest of the set. But it was really close. Yeah. Would have been sick if Leon won.
And YCZ took a game off face roll winners, too. So.
Yep. He did well. Who else Who else for like breakout pools level wins? Oh, I guess like Violence beating Army and stuff.
Army and Shrooms got destroyed this tournament.
Wait, because Army lost to Mog in losers. Who beat Shroom in losers again?
People are gonna talk about Army at 129th. I think Shroomed at 97th is even worse.
Oh yeah, because Shroom lost to J-Bash and someone else for 97th, right?
But he got chain grabbed by HT.
Oh, LOL. I still can't believe he lost to J-Bash. That was one of the results early in the tournament that just boggled my
Um,
mind.
when I saw that in bracket, I thought it was wrong because I wasn't there when it happened.
Yeah, I caught the second game, but I couldn't believe it.
It like doesn't make sense to me that Shroom could do that bad at a tournament. Like he's Shroomed, the consistency master.
Oh, dude, that reminds me. As far as other breakout stars or people doing well at the event, how about Bimbo? Bimbo actually. So I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. So Bimbo, after some part of the top 100, he was very upset because he wasn't on the list. And sort of me and the other Melee Stats people sort of like laughed about it, like, well, this is just a player from a region out of America who's butthurt that he didn't make the list. Like, if you like, sorry man, like you just didn't go to that much and you got a bad roast. Like you're not you might be in that skill range, but like you're not definitively top 100. Like you're not like it's not ridiculous to keep you out of the list. But then Bimbo just at this tournament defeats Kells and defeats Bananas, which I don't think
And almost beats Westballs. It was game 5 last 10. Westballs had to make a big comeback.
yeah, I don't think Bananas is like anything to write home about against Falco. I know he struggled with Squid for a bit, but those are two still like, especially for a player like Kells as well. Like that's not someone you can just kind of fluke victories over. That's a old school like hard player to upset. Like definitely ruled his region and still rules his region kind of opponent.
I'm pretty happy for Bimbo because I was a big supporter of Bimbo being top 100, as you probably know. I was a big supporter. So when he beat Bananas, I was super happy.
Yeah, I think he barely missed the cut for me. I might have had him at like 102 or 103 or something. But yeah, this is a great showing from him.
He's gonna be top 100. I'm telling you. He's gonna Bimbo Mexico, dude. He's gonna be better than Eddie Mexico, like he should be.
That's
Always beats him.
Number 1 in Tijuana. I want to say I forget.
You know what's so funny is that Eddie Mexico was like number 76, right?
Yeah.
On the SBM rank, and then he was number 11 on the Mexico PR.
That's so messed up, dude.
It's so funny. I think it's hilarious. Mexico's so good.
I think Mexico is one of the sickest in terms of play styles. They're definitely one of the sickest regions.
And I think they're all so good. I think all of the people in the PR are like so close to each other in skill.
Well, how far down the PR? I think they're top 15 to 20 is pretty good.
Yeah. I think their top 15 is like all like as good as each other. Like it's not that different in skill.
Wait, hold on. I gotta search up Mexico's PR because I'm thinking how far down I would go before I'd be a little hesitant to say about their skill.
Because Twin was like 15.
Oh right, yeah. So I think Javi, Asa, Bimbo, Valdo, I think are all really good. JPEG, I haven't seen much of Dream, but I think JPEG and you are pretty legit. Also, X Hylian, Far, Eddie, all those guys pretty solid.
They're all so good, dude. I want them all to come over.
Maybe, dude. Maybe when they come up for Evo, maybe we get the Valdo run.
Dude, we're gonna get them. We're gonna get Chile. Come one day. All of South and Latin America are just gonna come up one day and just destroy all of us.
Yeah, unless they run into like an Ice Climbers or something.
No man. Just send in JPEG with his Peach. It's over.
JPEG plays Peach against Ices? What?
No, that's how he broke out when he almost beat Wobbles.
I thought JPEG played Marth.
Yeah, and he plays Peach versus Ices.
Either I didn't know it or I forgot it. Wow, you learned something new or remember something.
Because at Forte 2, when Wobbles was like a super hella good player.
Oh, right. That was like 2014. That was the end of 2014, right?
And JPEG almost beat him.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
And Wobbles won with Sopo back, and then popped off and started walking across the table.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about regarding Genesis?
It's like I think Genesis. Well, I thought top 4 was really good. I thought a lot of sets before that in top 64 were solid. I would say overall it was it's one of the weaker Genesis tournaments. Heard it wasn't really run that well, but overall I would say it was a fun experience as a spectator.
So Pika,
I had a lot of fun watching it.
So Pika, I want to ask you something, and again, I really I hope this doesn't sound like too mean, but like So as far as tournament attending experiences go, Shine is pretty clearly the player experience, right? Like you go there to play your bracket matches, money match people, play in the ladder brackets, and to just play hella melee, right? Is that a fair assessment?
I said, yeah, right.
Oh, okay. What and as far as like total like party experience, like degenning it up in the location of the tournament, like Evo is pretty good for that, right? Like Evo's appeal is that it's an ultimate fighting game tournament that's in Vegas. So it's the things outside of Melee that make it appealing, right?
Yes, yes.
And the Big Houses thing is that it's this historical series that that like you go there, you play Melee, it's a well run tournament, and then you watch high level Melee of like top 64 everywhere, and you know you're like a witness to Big House history, right?
Yes, right.
So what is Genesis? What is the appeal of Genesis if it's not Mango versus Armada?
So that is Genesis, dude.
Yeah, but like, what is that? What is that? You know what I'm saying? Like the Big House carries
Like,
that same kind of history, that same or a similar kind of history. Genesis history was like marked by Mango versus Armada above all else. So now that Armada is not in Melee anymore, Genesis isn't as well run as Big House. It doesn't offer the same like playing experience as Shine. And the location, like Oakland's not terrible, but it's no Vegas or Boston or even Detroit. So like, I wonder what is the main draw of Genesis now for the next year.
honestly, Genesis is Genesis is getting a lot like Apex with Genesis 6. It's a tournament that is not run very well, that but has all this hype surrounding it because of the history, and the finals always delivers.
Yeah, I think Genesis it's very weird how like so I wouldn't go as far as to say like it's badly run. I think there are decisions made about like as far as the logistics
No,
of the event
yeah,
that
like compared to like a Big House, it was like worst run, but I wouldn't say it wasn't terribly run. It was a kind of yeah.
I think
I've
the
heard, I've
bigger
heard
problem like just speaking as an attendee, the really big problem I had was just like the lacking and really annoying distribution of setups. And when I say really annoying, I mean just like how close all the TVs and cubes were to each other. And it was so stuffy to the and it is a really big convention center. Like to have all the TVs stuffed together like that just was it was frustrating because there were times when there were so many people bunched together and there weren't enough chairs or there just wasn't enough space that some of the TVs just weren't used. And that's a really annoying thing to see as an attendee, right?
this.
And
Makes sense.
and yeah, again, like I props to the people that ran Genesis, like the volunteers and the event staff and everything. But like the reason I've been kind of critical about it is because as someone from the East Coast, like I spent just under $1,000 to go to Genesis, and like for my whole experience. So when I'm talking about criticisms for the event, I'm trying to be I'm not just like doing it to shit on the event. I'm trying to be fair and like give feedback of how I can make sure of how the series can make sure that people like me like our money feels well spent. And like if the benefit I'm getting from my money, if not bracket matches, is from lucky top eights, or I guess in this case I thought the first half of top eight was pretty bad, but the last half was like top four Axis matches and beyond, and the last half of top eight was pretty good. Like I really wonder what is the series draw? Is it going to be Ultimate now? Is it like the Leo Genesis story? I don't know, man.
When I think of games other than Melee, I think of SmashCon. Like that's the tournament that I would think of for non-Melee games, because that's always huge for all the games that aren't Melee. So I feel like Genesis can't even really have that.
So like I really think the Mango Armada thing was the main draw of it, and like the main thing that made people and I know that sounds really basic and sort of simplistic, but I do believe it, right? Like that's the first thing
Yeah,
you think of when you think Genesis.
No, but I think Genesis. I think really good finals, and that's
I mean, it's mostly like outside of Armada just beating down Mango and at Genesis 4, like all the finals have been really grand finals have been really good, right?
even Hungrybox Axe was somehow really really good.
Yeah, I still like almost don't believe that it happened, but
Dude, I wanted Hacks to reset so bad.
Can you imagine if he did? I would have felt so stupid. I was watching the Super Bowl. I was watching the Super Bowl in a hotel room, and obviously I was happy and everything because
You were watching the lowest scoring Super Bowl to ever air on national television. Meanwhile, Axe is winning Genesis.
I would have felt so dumb, dude.
Dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I really thought about this as far as my own experience goes with going to the event, and the reason I'm bringing it up on a show like this is because like these are important things to talk about when we're talking about the future of Melee in 2019 and like what majors look like, right? So if one of the majors is like not giving the same experience or not giving enough of a differentiating experience than the other majors, or differentiating meaning like good. I really do wonder what that means for the future of the series. Now, obviously, like in terms of numbers, Genesis was. I would be foolish to say it was nothing but a success, right? It is literally the biggest and most watched Smash event of all time. So I think that alone might. Yeah, I was talking to Fairfax about this. In terms of like
biggest,
overall,
it's the biggest non-Evo tournament ever. So.
No, I think even in terms of overall hours watched distributed across like all days of the tournament.
It's the most watched Smash event of all time. It bodied all the summits.
Yeah, it's
over 3. It's not even close.
So like I guess in that sense I shouldn't be too critical because maybe that is Genesis's appeal. Maybe the appeal is that it is literally the start of the Smash season every year. And that is the biggest tournament.
Yeah, I guess that'd be the thing. It's like it's the start of the season. It sets the pace for everything. It's the one that I think Genesis has the name recognition at this point to be it will probably be the most viewed non-Evo event that we have every year. Like I don't think Big House comes close to it in terms of name recognition.
Yeah, I think Big House comes close to it in terms of like its legacy, but as far as like what it means, I think Genesis being the start of the Smash season, whereas Big House is near the end but not quite the last event, probably makes Genesis' existence at the start of the year enough to be a draw for enough people who care, I guess.
And Genesis tries to give its attention to all the games. Well, Big House, while it does have a really big tournaments, it's very Melee focused.
Yeah. I guess the Ultimate crowd seemed to really like Top 8 for that. I know people are really excited to see Void do so well, getting second with Pichu and stuff. But this is not the Ultimate podcast or deep dives with Ultimate stats, so we don't have to talk about that. I guess that sort of leaves us. I don't think we really have any takeaways from the event as far as like rankings or how players should be perceived should go. Just because it's so early in the Smash season, and we just had the like SSBM rank come out. So
I don't think much is different now. Like nothing that happened at Genesis was any different than what was happening in the months before. Like it's just continuing trends.
I mean, I think Mewtwo losing to Triff is a big deal, but I think it's more like
that's probably the one thing.
I think it's a big deal in the sense that like him and Mango losing their sets early, I think are a big deal in the sense that those sets in a vacuum are really surprising. But I think as far as like seeing them as an indicator for how they'd perform later in the year, I don't think it's really that crazy. It's just more like, oh, Mewtwo lost. He was out of practice and only playing Ultimate. Mango lost. Sometimes that happens, right? Like, is that too simple of me to say?
I get what you're saying. Like, it is Mewtwo's worst performance ever, but I know what you mean.
Like it's just sort of like, oh, Mewtwo can't autopilot his way through bracket and not practice for Genesis.
He can't do that anymore.
Yeah, and Mango can't do it either.
So. I mean, Mango can't try and beat up somebody in a Falco Ditto because he'll get beat up back.
Yeah, man. So what's next in 2019 Melee? Is it just Full Bloom and then Summit?
It's we have Full Bloom, we have Summit, we have after that is Smash and Splash in June, May.
Yeah, Gommel.
Then
Does that count?
I guess yeah, Gommel could be big. Then we have Evo, and then we have August, which is probably gonna have everything again.
So SmashCon and Shine, which is now in Worcester. So that's actually kind of it's going to be a lot less expensive than the previous years of Shine, but moving it to Worcester, kind of a bold move just to save costs, but it could end up working out pretty well for the Shine.
When is Shine?
TOs.
When is Shine? Is it first week of September this year?
No, I know it's August 23rd to 25th, I think.
Okay, that's good.
I'm gonna double check on that right now. Shine 2019 Smash GG. Yeah, so it's being held in Worcester, which is like Central Mass. People say Western Mass, so it's not really. Yeah, August 23rd to 25th.
So after that, then we have the unnamed sequel to Air that's happening, and then we have Big House, the other summit, and then that's pretty much the big events for the year, unless something else gets announced.
Unless maybe Dome Park comes back.
Unless Dome Park comes back, or GTX somehow blows up again. Yeah, that should be it.
Is there anyone based on their performance at Genesis that you think like warrants any extra attention or any more attention than they already have heading into the rest of 2019? Or do you think this kind of just or do you think we kind of covered everything that could potentially happen?
You ask me to pick out a player that I think will do super well in 2019?
Yeah, I guess. Sure.
Come on, you know who I'm gonna say.
Who is it?
Cody.
Oh, IBW, right.
This year, he's gonna be like top 15. He's gonna be so good.
I don't know if I would say that, like, I don't know if after Genesis is when I would say that, as much as, like, we just know that he can do it.
I just think in general, IBDW is going to destroy this year.
Yeah, he's very determined.
Kalamazoo is going to keep getting better. Because I have this theory about Kalamazoo, right? Mm-hmm. I just want to talk about this. So, I think he had a really lucky run early in his career, but he was still on the come up. And that wasn't his peak. That was just a coincidence, and people think he's washed, when in reality, he just was still coming up and still getting better. Finally getting better to the point where runs like the Big House 4 could actually happen now on a regular basis. And I think he's going to keep getting better until he's like super, super good.
Do you think Kalamazoo takes do you think he ever reaches LOD level?
I think he might surpass Triff at the end of this year, though. I think I could see it.
I think I would have said that at the end of last year, but Triff beating Mewtwo like makes me think that he's still like half a tier or a tier above Kalamazoo.
I'm just really happy to see the non-Armada Peaches doing good, because they're showing that Peach can still be good.
Yeah, I mean LOD was still doing fine. It's not like LOD. LOD is obviously worse than Armada, but like he still won like even bigger Balk last year and stuff like that.
But I mean, like besides LOD, like Kalamazoo had a really good run this tournament. He beat Gatsu and stuff.
Oh, dude, I forgot Bladewise. He made top 16.
Oh, I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, that's the first.
Yeah, so so please tell the listeners how important this is for Bladewise's legacy.
It's so sick. Nobody else cares but me.
No, I care. This is Bladewise. Dude, you know how many people got mad at us when we deliberately put Bladewise 101st on our all-time list?
Dude, oh man, dude, nobody else cares about this but us. You know that, right?
Yeah. No, but you have to go on.
Impressive bracket run. He just beat people he was supposed to beat. And Calvar, because he lost to Calvar last time. That was good. But he got 13th, which is the first top 16 at a major that he's ever gotten. He got 7th or 9th or whatever at Kings of Cali 3, but that's like a smaller tournament. Only Mewtwo was there. Oh, he got 13th at this. It's the first top 16 at a major he's ever gotten in his entire career. He's the 17th to 33rd master. He's never gotten. So good at getting 17th to 33rd, dude. He's so good. Literally every tournament he's ever been to.
All right, here's the tough question then. is Bladewise now top 100 of all time?
I don't know, man. You got to think about this because there's people getting better. Lod got a top 8. Like, you know.
Oh no! So it still wasn't enough for Bladewise.
Now it's you just can't pass Pink Shinobi. I don't know what to tell you.
No, Bladewise is sick, dude. I feel like we probably sound like such jerks. We're just these two.
I love Teddy.
He's so
good.
He's been playing for so long. Has there ever been I think I mentioned this to you like a while ago, but as far as a player selecting only one character in bracket against so many opponents, who has played their one character for as much consecutively as Bladewise has done with Peach?
Meech King's probably played Marth as long.
No. I'm saying like without playing any other character, like in consecutive games.
That's an interesting question because he's been playing since like.
He's been playing since like post Brawl era, or no, even like before Brawl. I think he's been playing since like 2006 or something, right?
07, 06, somewhere around there. Because he played Comm Master. I like a little after Comm Master's peak. I want to say.
When was the last time Bladewise played a character that wasn't Peach in a tournament set?
Oh my god, I don't even know. I don't even remember him playing a character that wasn't Peach.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Has any like HBox at least pulled out Ness last year? Like Mango's not.
Yeah, he played Ness against like Armada's Younglink that one time. Like Mango has Falco and Fox. PP has Falco and Marth. Leffen was Falco originally.
Yeah, and Leffen also played secondaries like at other brackets last year, right? And this year, last year. Armada no, Plup no, Mango no, Zane maybe? No, Zane goes Fox at locals now.
Zane hasn't been around as long as Bladewise. Come on, dude.
Yeah, alright. Wizard hasn't been around as long as Bladewise. Amsa's gone Falco in bracket before.
Yeah. And Fox. You're talking about European Amsa, right?
No, I'm talking about. And I know European Amsa's gone Fox, but I'm talking about Japanese Amsa.
Oh, well, he hasn't been around as long as Bladewise, so that doesn't matter.
Right.
I'm trying to think of other people. Commaster goes Falcon.
Hugs? No, but Hugs has tried like Sheik and bracket before at locals.
Yeah, Hugs is you Sheik, so.
Gatsu?
SFAT? No, Gatsu hasn't been around as long. SFAT though?
No, SFAT's gone Marth in bracket.
Has he? Yeah.
Yeah, remember CCC?
It's Fox, that's right. Yeah, I remember now.
Michael? But no, Michael hasn't been around as long. I think this is it, dude. I think Bladewise is the longest running player of one consecutive character.
Or at least at bigger tournaments.
Dude, I like legit can't think of anyone. This is absurd to me. Is Bladewise actually just Over Triforce has a Peach, right?
Over Triforce has used Peach against Ice Climbers.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Chuda's used Fox and Puff and.
How about Ty? Has Ty ever gone on another character?
Hasn't been around as long.
He hasn't? Really?
No, he hasn't. Not as long as Bladewise.
What about Abate? No, Abate has a Falcon. How long has Eddie Mexico been around?
Eddie Mexico hasn't been around as long.
I think it's actually Bladewise.
Javi?
Javi's gone Young Lincoln bracket.
Oh, that's already when Young Lincoln get. Twin?
I don't think. I guess Twins. I think Twin is a Fox, but I could be wrong. Hold on. Yeah. No, Twin is a Marth, not a Fox.
That's right.
I think it's actually Bladewise.
Why are we spending the end of this just talking about Bladewise?
Dude, this is such a waste of time. Shout out to Bladewise, dude. He's sick. Sticking with your character for over a decade.
Ian's hopefully gonna be sick.
All right.
This was cool. Axe did good.
Is there anything else we want to talk about, or is that it?
Yeah, that's it, dude. What else do you want to talk about? There's the gang in March.
We'll head into the deep dives for gang later.
There's Pound. I forgot about Pound. We're talking about 2019.
Oh, right. I don't think Pound is going to be like a national though. I think it'll.
I think it'll be a bit bigger than you think.
I think it'll be big, but it'll feature Zane's Fox, if that's any indication.
Yes. It'll be fun.
Zane's Fox and Chillin's Mario. That's my prediction.
No. Amos.
All right, guys. I think that's just about does it. I'm going to stop the recording right here. Thanks for tuning in to Deep Dives. We'll see you either next week or sometime soon. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.